Hello. Welcome to Tutors of Life podcast, where we research life so you don't have to. Episode 319. This is your host, Shaun Tutor.
And this is Sam. And this is a Tutor episode where we try to teach you something new.
Love it. All right, dude, check it out. Number one, I bought a car.
Well, you haven't officially bought it yet.
I haven't officially bought the car, but I've made the deal, and the deal is with a friend. And the plan is to pick the car up this weekend. Mm-hmm. And I am very excited.
Are you?
Dude, so excited.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you. 2016 Toyota Camry.
I think we kind of went in the direction that I said.
Which is like a nicer car.
Well, and more reliable.
Yeah, we went nicer, more reliable, just everyday car. Mm-hmm. And I'm like very happy for it. Do you know why I'm so happy for it?
Maintenance?
I'm done trying to find a sports car to be my everyday car, which doesn't. It exists. It's just not as well. Where now I just have a car that I can put as many miles on. It'll be really reliable, and I will not care. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll just piss pound the miles on it and keep up with maintenance, and it'll be good for till 300,000.
I got to keep reminding Shaun because he kept picking out these cars, and I'm like, do you really want to put a whole bunch of miles on this? And he's like, I mean, I will if I have to, but it will kill me on the inside. And I'm like, then why?
I'm so happy, dude. So jacked. So thank you, Michael, for that, and Corey for letting me know Michael had a car.
Oh my gosh, I got grass in my tea.
Nice. Second thing. So Sam and I made some whole chickens, and I was looking up how to make bone broth, right? Mm-hmm. And then there was this lady. I was like reading articles I was like reading recipes on how to make bone broth.
Yeah.
One of them was an article a lady wrote about her experience with drinking bone broth, right? Mm-hmm. She's like, okay, what is this? So I'm reading it, and she's like, I get up and I drink bone broth every morning, and she's like, before I was like, I had like bad stomach stuff because like I must have bad digestion, bad stomach, whatever, because she had like acne, skin rashes, she was fatigued easily, joints ached, all this shit, right? Mm-hmm. So she started drinking bone broth every morning, and it like went away, right? So we know we've been trying all sorts of shit for my acne.
All sorts of stuff.
Everything under the sun for my acne. Mm-hmm. We implement the bone broth.
Mm-hmm. And it was 3-4 days later, Shaun was in the bathroom, and I like looked at him like something was wrong.
Yeah. I was like, what is wrong?
And I was like, your back is just tan. Because usually it's like
fucked up.
Yeah.
Like acne galore.
Like usually a third of it's red.
So, dude, within like 3 to 4 days, my shit was already clearing up. Mm-hmm. And now
it looked beautiful.
My shit's like a couple random stragglers. That's it. Otherwise, it's just full, clean. And so I just get up every morning and I drink my bone broth. I'm drinking some bone broth now. Mm-hmm. I'm fucking jacked, dude. I'm excited to see how this goes, because maybe this is the fixer. Maybe it's the fucking... Unless it's a Fugazi, we're going to see, but it's been working phenomenally.
Which I'm trying to think back. So in January, when your acne was clearing up, we were drinking a lot of bone broth then, weren't we?
We were.
Because there was like a period in time where
we were drinking bone broth like daily.
Yeah, because there was a period in time where I was just like, this is so good. Like, we need to do this.
That's so true. Mm-hmm. Damn. Okay, so anyways, gang, I wanted to let you know about my bone broth. Third thing. This is probably the least important, but the most fun for Sam.
Okay.
I was taking a drive from Ashland to Eau Claire. Mm-hmm. And I have on a podcast, and I was like, this ain't doing it for me. I'm not interested in listening to a fucking podcast. I listen to too many. So I turned on Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Stop, dude.
2.5 hours. Fucking deep. 2.5 hours deep. And just a fucking banger.
Yeah.
Just a banger. So, about chapter 6.
Yeah.
Loving it. So good. So I thought you'd like that.
I love that for you. That makes me so happy.
Thank you. Then I guess everything else we could save for a talk episode.
Yeah. Cool. Fun. Exciting. What are we tutoring?
You tell me.
I figured we could tutor on something that Shaun and I are working on in our business right now, which is one, kind of breaking the business up in parts, and 2, figuring out what to work on like first in your business, or like what's a priority for your business to work on, or like your operations, or if you're an owner, like what you should prioritize working on first. Does that make sense? Did I explain that well?
I think so.
Okay. So Shaun, how we did while Shaun was on his way up to Ashland, we usually, if Shaun gets tired, he'll call me, and then we'll talk about business, and that'll wake him up pretty good usually.
Yep.
So
because I wasn't listening to Harry Potter on the way up. That's where I went wrong.
Yeah, that was. And so one of the questions I had was because like we just have so many operation things right now that like we keep thinking of, like I should work on, I should do this, blah blah blah, and I was just like, I have like 10 of them on my plate right now. Like, how do we want to prioritize what I should be working on first? Like, should I just do a little bit of each thing? How do I prioritize this? And so, Shaun, how did you break up at least our business?
So, if you're smarter than me, maybe I'll be told I'm dumb or something. I look at business, at least a small business, in 4 categories. Okay? You've got your marketing / lead gen, your sales. How are you getting business, right? So I look at, you got your business. I look at, you got your operations. So you're like day to day, how are you fulfilling the operations, right? Or sorry, how are you fulfilling the sales? And then the third is like administration.
Customer service.
So like, yep, your customer service, your admin, your systems, your processes, all that shit. And then the fourth is like review.
Like refining, you said also.
Refining. So like...
yeah, review and refining. I like that.
So like if you look at your 3 main functions of a business, you got to bring work in, you got to provide the work, and then you have to have like the glue that ties those 2 together. So your customer service, all your administration for keeping the business running, and all that shit, right? And so I was like, well, if we just think about our business, if we know our 3 main things, with the 4th being like reviewing and refining, then we take and we prioritize what makes the world go round, which is work. If you don't have work, we can't operate. If we can't operate, we got nothing to fucking coordinate and refine. So like it's this same old adage like Ryan and I talk about all the time. If you're gonna wholesale or something, don't worry about finding your people who are gonna buy your deals. Go find a deal. And if you can find a deal, then you're gonna find someone to buy it, customers.
Yeah.
But if you don't have deals, I've had so many people talk to me, but like, hey, I'm interested in getting into wholesaling. And I go like this.
Would you buy a property from me?
Cool. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, if it's the right deal. And I tell them my criteria. And they're like, okay, that's good to know. So I'm like, go find me a deal in that criteria and you automatically have a buyer. So just like, go. And I can't tell you how many people I've told like how to do it. I've told people like, this is how you calculate. And then I don't get brought deals. Yeah. You know what you need to do? I will buy every single deal you bring to me in this category. You got to go find it. And then I'll go. Anyways, so
just breaking down, I think most businesses can be broken down into that, like those 3/4 categories. Because then you can like think of like, where is your business at? are you being flooded with deals? Like, do you have so much customer work, so much work coming in, but your processes or like you don't have enough workers, or like the middle part is your hiccup? Then focus on that. Like, that is your priority.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, let's say you get plenty of deals just fine. You get the work done, but then you have no repeat customers and you're not really like reaching out to them well. Like, you've heard about, like, you have communication issues or you have bookkeeping issues or something like that. Then the admin customer service part is what you need to focus on.
Right.
So I just like those categories because most businesses like have those categories. We were talking earlier, like, Stable Living doesn't really have marketing and sales, because all they really have to do is just notify caseworkers, hey, we got another home open if you have any clients that you want us to see.
Yeah, Stable was pretty easy in that realm because Ryan just handled operations and management and I just handled admin.
Mm-hmm. But
so like 2 sections.
Right. In that realm, though, like, you guys really need to focus on like the customer service kind of realm, because if you weren't giving your clients that you currently had a good experience, good stay, then you weren't going to have those repeat customers.
Oh, like repeat case managers?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm. Yeah. So, yeah. But, yeah. I mean, we never had that issue. So many case managers kept begging for you guys to open more homes.
Right.
So, yeah. So, I think it's really important to know how to break apart your company, and then you can, so just those 3 parts, you can see so quickly, oh, this is where I'm struggling.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. So, yeah, like with our business, we talked, and we're only booked out like a month.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, okay, well, we should ideally be booked out 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And so, okay, we need to focus on getting more deals in.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have to focus on closing more deals. And then once we can get more deals in, we can close more deals, then we can make like the process, as we go through repetitions, we can make the process of getting those deals easier.
Mm-hmm.
So like ways to calculate estimates faster and easier, ways to give offers easier, ways to get people in the door easier, different ways to close that make like better closing processes and stuff. That's all part of the refining stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like, so if we focus on like sending out more mailers or cold calling more people or
driving
whatever,
for dollars,
letting know friends, we got like friends in like groups and stuff that we are open for work and stuff, right? More word of mouth. Then as we get in more work, we're going to pull that 4th piece, that back end, as we're doing them, and we're going to like refine our processes we have.
Mm-hmm.
And so then that way they get more efficient, they become a standard, and then you can eventually pull in operations and train someone in on that.
Yeah, for sure.
So right now, that is your main focus.
Mm-hmm.
And so right now, our goal is to set up like our CRM,
mm-hmm.
or so like we have our CRM, and to start utilizing it, putting in leads, and then starting to contact, and then like making sure we're following up on all that shit.
Yeah, so we're trying to like also time block off our schedules. So Shaun figured out like a good schedule for his justice sales and his leads, and then Brooke and I are still kind of working on ours for that. After a couple weeks, I won't be doing any of it. It'll all just fully be on Brooke. But so it's really nice to do it that way, because then, like, especially with leads, especially with sales, like, you need to be checking up on these people regularly. We had mentors that I think they said once a month they contacted every lead that they had. I'm pretty sure, because it rotated between mailing, calling, texting.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so you have to have some kind of system or form or something to keep track of, like, oh, what did I do for these people last month?
Right.
You're not going to remember. I don't remember what I did most of this past week.
Right.
How am I going to remember what I did a month ago?
Right.
So we just like, I honestly just Google searched free CRMs, like Excel CRMs.
Yep.
And then just found one that I liked, so that worked well for what we needed it for, and just started using it.
Yep.
But like that was honestly something, if we wouldn't have talked about the priorities and like what we needed to focus on first, that was probably going to be something I would have waited to do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something we need to do now because we don't have much work.
Right. So as we're doing that, as we're refining, as we're getting more work, and once we're like stocked up with work, then we're going to end up moving over into the operations realm. Mm-hmm. How to make our systems and processes for operations better, which will actually tie right in with 3, mm-hmm. which is admin, which will be like the coordination of subs, making sure materials and everything are good, aligning with customers, having your customer communication, things like that. But so to not get too cloudy and mix the two, just looking at your operations, as we have more work, okay, what people on our team are best at which part of the work we have, mm-hmm. which ones maybe need to work alongside to learn because we do a lot of it. Who do we need to pull in from different like subs, like to do different work? Do we need to hire more like subs, full-time subs, or consider employees? Mm-hmm.
Do we want to start doing it ourselves versus subcontracting some of it out? Because we also have we have internal subcontractors
right.
and external subcontractors.
Right.
So there's been some things we've been experimenting with lately, if we should do them internally or externally instead.
Yeah, because we used to sub out like all of our siding, mm-hmm. and now it's like, okay, well, we got 4 guys on the team that all know how to side well. If it's literally just us having a few more tools for them to be able to utilize,
mm-hmm. It makes sense to just do it.
Right. Yeah. So anyways, because then that's extra we can do.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But yeah, different operations like that.
Yeah.
Making sure that we can get the work in and finish the work, mm-hmm. is basically what the operations, I would say, mainly are.
Mm-hmm. So once we get like those 2 things going good, then we'll move into our third, which is going to be like our administration. So, making sure our bookkeeping's good, making sure communication with customers is really good. When jobs are finished, we're following up to get reviews. We're sending them like biannual or annual like cards for all the people we've done work with in the past. Let's see, like just making sure, like looking at like our costs and everything, like where's our expenses and things like that, and how much are we spending, how much are we profiting, shit like that. And so we can kind of just take that admin portion, and like how is it most efficient, what are things that happen every month, when do we need to contact customers and coordinate and all that shit, and setting like coordination with your subs, your mm-hmm. customers, all that shit. It's kind of in your admin section.
Yeah.
So it's really just the admin section's all the back end stuff you don't see that makes the business go around, makes the operations happen, and the sales. Mm-hmm. Like it's the admin portion's the back end that kind of ties them all together.
Yeah. And then customer service with that too. So then.
Yeah, sorry, customer service.
Yeah, obviously making sure, like, especially businesses that are like more daily sales, like making sure you have employees that are representing your company and representing it well.
Right.
Because you don't want an employee that's gonna scream at your customer, and then that customer will go on Facebook right. and start yelling at people about how bad your business is.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so customer service is also in the admin portion.
Yep. Then the last thing is like refining
mm-hmm.
your review, which is just going over each section and how you can make it better. And by going through and actually tracking, you can see if what you're doing is speeding up the time or making you more profitable or less profitable, or do you have a better closing rate? Are you getting jobs done faster? Are you staying within your
time frame?
Things like that. How could you make it better? How could you be more profitable? Like, what things can you add or subtract?
It's the very analytical part of business.
Right.
But you really shouldn't be focusing on that until you have
Data.
Well, data and a good product already.
Yeah. So you need to make sure that the review portion, you have to do something for a while to get data and see if it actually works. And especially like some markets, things go in trends. And so I remember I was talking to one of our friends. I'm like, hey, it was like February. And I'm like, hey, dude, I haven't had sales for a month. How's your February been? And they're like, oh, we don't really sell in February. Mm-hmm. I was like, what? They're like, yeah, February is like the month you take your vacations and whatever. He's like, work doesn't really count. Like, he said, statistically, over there, like 20 years, he's like, February is always our worst month for selling. And he's like, so we just go hard in March because February. So over the last 20 years, of all the 20 years, if February is always your slowest month, well, then just don't try to go crazy. Take your vacations, do your downtime, do more your reviewing shit, whatever, in your February, so you got the other 11 months you're focusing on.
I suppose that's nice too for like construction, because then you can get all your like tax stuff done.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
but yeah, for whatever reason, like February is like the in between like the new year starting and like people waiting to get their tax returns back. Mm-hmm. And so they're not really like, people aren't doing a whole lot in February. But March, people start getting, so like January, people are like, new year, let's do new shit, right? Like let's get the new year off. February, they're waiting on taxes. March, April, they're getting their taxes back and they're going, let's get this shit done.
And they're also probably like, oh, it's spring. So we want to get everything ready for summertime.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of cool to know, and like we can track it and stuff and see for ourselves. So it's like when I heard that, I was like, oh, okay, so I shouldn't be stressing I'm not getting stuff. And then, dude, it was seriously like first week in March, I started getting calls again.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, fuck, there's something to this.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, that review portion of your other things to just see how you can make things better, make your company better. But like Sam said, you have to go through and do the things up front to know what you're trying to improve, to have a good product. And the whole time that you're doing all of this, you want to think of one very, very, very important thing.
What's that?
Brand.
Yeah.
You want to be thinking about how you look to your customers.
Mm-hmm. And what you want them to see. Exactly.
So like, how are you being perceived? Is it how you would like to be perceived? Are you doing the things in line with the company, the brand the brand recognition, everything that you want? Is that how you and your guys are acting?
Right.
Is that how like you're portraying yourself to your customers and stuff? And if it's not, why? Like, what are the things holding you up? Is it an employee? Is it some subs on the site? Like, is it your own self not willing to hold the standard? Like, what things are inhibiting you from being the company and the brand you want?
Right. And what you need to change to become that.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is typically not holding the standard yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. The analytical is probably like my favorite phase, but you have to wait a while till you can get to it. But you need a good product first. I mean, you can't try to start bettering your sales and making those way efficient when you're not even like finishing a product, or like you keep getting customer complaints because you're leaving things half-assed. Like, you need to make sure you have a good product before you can have the refinery period where you can make it a great product.
So what a lot of people don't think about or realize is they'll go like sell, provide like mediocre customer service and mediocre product. And then they have to go sell again.
Mm-hmm.
If you're providing a great product with mediocre to good customer service, you will build that name for your like quality and like getting shit done on, like if you have good operations, so your quality, you're getting stuff done on time, you're getting it done in the budget you said it would be, and you're like communicating that to a customer, you're going to build up a brand and people are going to know to use you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Conversely, if you're providing poor work and you're getting a fuck ton of sales, well, eventually your poor work is going to get known and you're going to be trying to outsell a poor name, a poor brand.
Yeah. I mean, like for us, like we haven't had to do really any sales or marketing because we've had our few customers we've had, one, either keep getting more projects done with us,
Right.
or have been referring us like crazy.
Right. So yeah, it's huge. I mean, it's huge because what a lot of companies don't think of, and some companies just build their company based on this, but the better you can have your brand and your like, the better you can have your service you're providing and your customer service, the less money, energy, and everything you have to put on marketing and sales.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have leads coming in the door organically, you've already been referred, so people are going to want to use you because they've like seen your work or been referred to you by it, right? So you're already up on percentage of closing the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Second, you're not spending how much money on marketing or an extra sales guy. You just have to have an estimator.
Right.
And so by having that good brand, it might take longer to build it. And so maybe you're doing a little less sales volume, but getting enough sales in to really refine your operations and customer service. And so then that way, when you do decide to go and maybe start allocating some money towards marketing, your brand is already, everything's already there really well. So then your branding takes off and goes exactly where you want it to go.
Yeah. Cool.
So.
Got anything else?
No, that's kind of just the process of things.
Yeah.
I think.
Probably in the next, we are still going to do an episode on let's not forget things that have happened the past 4 years.
It'd be a really good idea.
Yeah. So that episode will be coming up. But we'll probably be doing a couple episodes on sales and marketing in the next couple weeks.
Sick.
Mm-hmm.
All right, gang. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you on the next one.
See ya.